last little quick blast on the GS before parking it up. Just a wee short blast and then park it up because I've got to get packed and ready to leave, so can't go anywhere far. There's a quick little loop out to Townoi and back to the workshop, probably 30 minutes, something like that, 30 minute, 40 minute drive. Just give it a wee run before parking it up for a couple of months. Hope you can hear me because I just put this mic in to this helmet. It's a Shui Neotech 2 that I bought about a year ago, and everybody says they're really quiet, but to be honest, I'm not finding that it's mega quiet. Maybe my head, wrong shape. I've had RIs before, but it's just good doing. But I like the internal visors, so, and RI just don't do them in their helmets. And I'm not a big fan of dark visors. So I prefer to have the internal sun visor to use if I need it. But I say RI don't do them in their helmets, so I thought I'd try a Shui. And let's say Neotech 2 is meant to be a quiet, modular, quiet helmet, but I've not found it to be as quiet as everybody says. We've got the 360 cam on there as well, trying that out for a change on here on the bike. I've never done that before with a bike, so I don't know if you're going to see much. I think you need a longer ram mount for it to bring it up a bit or something. A lot of wind noise with this Neotech 2. I don't know if it's the visor, the windshield on the bike that makes it as noisy as it is, or anybody out there that's watching this got a Neotech 2, do you think it's quiet? Because I bloody don't. Like I say, my RI, well, it wasn't a modular. The Tour Cross 2 was my last helmet, my RI, but like I say, I wanted one with an internal sun visor, so I went with the Shui. But although it's comfy enough and they're good helmets, but wind noise, I'm kind of unimpressed at the minute. But I've had it, let's say, about a year, and they're not the cheapest, so we'll see if I need to get another one or not, if I decide to buy a different helmet. I'm pretty sure I went on about this before, about wind noise and helmets on one of my first ever vlogs I did on the little CRF 250. That was a long time ago. Take the big old tractor for the run up. Like I was just saying, when I was on the DRZ there, we had planned to go for a tour, me and the wife, but it just never happened. The kids being off school, it's not very often that I'm at home when the kids are off school, so I just wanted to spend as much time with them as I could, rather than disappearing on the bike for days, and so, but now the kids are back to school and I've got to go back to work. Warm one. It was cooler this morning when I got up. It was 20 degrees, which is cool for here, but it's just starting to heat up now. It must be into the high 20s already. This is tail end of cold season, they call it, winter I suppose in Thailand. Tail end, things are starting to heat up. Next few weeks to month it'll be into the mid 30s anyway, if not above. I've got a funny feeling where that 360 camera is, you're just going to be seeing mirror and not me. Maybe, well, it's 360, so I suppose you see everything. It's the whole point of it being 360, I suppose. See all around. But you'll not see much of me, I don't think. Wee leisurely cruise loop, just to blow the cobwebs off the bike and myself. It's been a while since I've really been out, so I'm a bit rusty. This happens. Out to win any races. Paying attention there, the lights turned green and I wasn't ready. Why is that on auto? That should be off. So the bike's just had service oil, filters, batteries as well, because they'd sat for a while. The batteries were all kaput, had to buy 4 batteries. The wife's Vespa, that needs a fuel pump I think. It's been sitting for a long time, the Vespa, she never uses it, so and decided I'm going to pop it round to the Vespa shop this afternoon before I go, get it fixed and probably sell it because she never uses it. I was going to do it myself, but Jesus, it's a bit of a nightmare to get to the fuel pump and that on the Vespa. You got to drop the whole back end and then to drop the fuel tank. It's kind of moulded in the back of them, which makes it a bit of a nightmare to get out. But I could have done it, but the wife says just take it to the shop. So I'll take it to the shop. I've no time to do it now anyway. This is just a wee loop, probably 40-50 kilometres the time we get round it and back to the workshop, maybe at the most. Just takes you, this is a wee back road to little village town called Townoi, which stands for Small Turtle. And then from there just take a different little road back through the workshop that you seen earlier in the when I was on the DRZ. Park this thing up. And the wife's beating me there. Take home. Saying Small Turtle, it's actually Townoi is Turtle Small. A bit back to front, but that's the way Thai language is, a bit kind of back to front, the way they say things. Once if you translate it directly to English, it kind of comes out back to front. So I cannot speak Thai, so it's I know words, I know, you know, I can generally understand when they're talking. I can kind of get what they're talking about some of the time. But I can't speak, I can't hold a conversation, you know. I have tried to learn, albeit I'll admit I haven't tried hard, because I find that these days that most places I go, generally there's someone speaks English. I know that's lazy, very lazy, to just assume that everybody speaks English, but well, just kind of the way it is. I do want to make a bit more of an effort to learn it, but again, laziness. I come from the UK, Scotland obviously, and I work in Azerbaijan, Baku, so that's a different language, and then I live in Thailand, another language, and trying to wrap my brain around two different languages. I don't think my brain's just not wired that way. I think if I wasn't leaving all the time for work, I'd probably pick up a lot more than I know, you know, because I'd be here all the time, listening to it all the time. I'll learn stuff, I'll learn new stuff every time I'm home, but then I go away, and because I'm not using the new stuff I've learned, I tend to forget it again, and then kind of got to relearn it when I get back. Warning light on, tyre pressure monitor. That's the rear, front tyre pressure. It's been doing that for over a year. The battery's on its way out. The tyres are fine. I checked them just yesterday. It's done it every time for the last year. It seems to work for a wee while, and then the warning light comes on. So at the next tyre change, next couple of thousand kilometres, when I do another tyre change, I'll get either a new tyre pressure monitor or change the battery in it. There there is, I have seen on YouTube, BMW says you can't change the battery, you've got to put a new one in, but I have seen on YouTube a guy changing the battery. It's kind of like got like a hot glue kind of rubbery silicone stuff over it, and if you cut that out you put a new battery in it and then just kind of recover it with hot glue or silicone or something, and it seemed to work fine, so I might do that. But let's see, I keep an eye on the tyres, but it's been happening for a while, so I know it's not a problem with the tyre. Also, if I was, I would feel it. I would feel it. If it comes on, but it's weird. I've got, so when it comes on, it goes off, so it doesn't show you the tyre pressure on here. But when I've got my tablet on with the Wonder Link, that you can get all the info from the, it still shows it hit. That still shows you the tyre pressure, but it goes off on the display. When the main display, when the warning comes on, it goes off there, but it stays on the Wonderlink, on the app, the Wonderlink app with the tablet or the phone, whichever I'm using. I don't have it on today because it's just a quick blast. I don't need it. I know exactly where I'm going, you know. But Wonderlink, for those with a GS, if you don't know about it, it's a good little app. For those that prefer to use your phone or a tablet than the BMW Nav. I've not got a BMW Nav. I bought this bike second hand and it didn't come with it, and I just didn't see the point in spending $300, $400, $500 on a Nav that pretty much you can do with your phone or your tablet these days and more, you know. So, and I've done a few trips. If you look back at other videos on the channel, I've done a few trips where you see I've got the tablet on or the phone on and you have split screen. It does a Wonderlink, you can do a split screen, so you've got your sort of telemetry info that you would get from the bike on one side and then your nav on the other, whichever navigation app you choose to use. I use Moto most of the time, and I like it. I've no intention of buying the Garmin or the BMW nav system. It's basically a Garmin in it. I've got a couple of Garmin Montanas that I use on the dirt bike, and but even now I'm tending to favour the tablet over the Montanas, the tablet or the phone over them. I use the drive mode dashboard app type on the when I'm out on the dirt bike or the side-by-side. I use that. I plot my tracks into Google Earth, plot them, like I'll have a look on Google Earth and find tracks and that, and then convert it to a GPX, email it to the tablet or file transfer it to the tablet through the USB, whichever way you prefer, and go that route, and it's worked well for me so far, you know. And the drive mode dashboard, it uses OpenStreetMaps, and you can download the offline maps. Same with Moto, you download the offline maps, so you don't need the phone signal. So when I'm using the tablet, I don't need a phone signal or a SIM card in it or data, and if I do, I just hotspot from the phone for whatever I need. So that was Townoi. Just at that roundabout, that little town's Townoi. Small Turtle Small. And now I'm just heading back to the workshop, probably 10-15 minutes from here. It's just pretty much a straight road from here to the wee village, the mother-in-law's village, and the workshop. If I can get past this truck. The only thing you have to watch about this road in particular is there's a lot of little villages on this stretch of road that are right next to the road. These houses are set back a bit, but as you see further on, there's a few that are quite close, and you have to watch out for kids, dogs, chickens, cows. Not a habit of jumping out on you. So any who's watching that ride in Thailand will know that very well about some of the small villages and the wildlife that could come running out at you any time from the side. I did see there was I'm on the expat bikers group, Facebook group, and I did see there was a guy posted up. He was riding through a little village and he hit a dog, and I know I'm a dog lover myself, but everybody was giving him a hard time for not stopping, because he was well, one, he was lucky he didn't get knocked off his bike, and then two, everybody was giving him a hard time saying he should have stopped, you know. But what do? You've hit a street dog. There's street dogs everywhere in Thailand, you know. You can't, they're all over the place. I'm a dog lover, but I don't think I would have stopped either, you know. And it looked like he gave it a good whack, so I mean, controversial maybe. Stop, put it out of its misery, see if you can help. It's where do you draw the line, you know? Let's see, right in front of me there's one walking across the street, two on the street. The bulk of them will move, but you do get them running out on you every now and then. I've had it myself. I've had it in the car. I hit one in the car. It just came running out of nowhere, and there was nothing I could do. It's swerved to miss it and crash the car when I had the wife and kids in the car, or hit the dog. Sorry, the dog's going to lose every time. And I didn't stop because I hit it full on right over the top of it with a car. It wasn't alive when it, you know, it was squashed. So what do? Like I say, there's more. See, they're everywhere. You just can't. So yeah, some guys were giving him a hard time for not stopping. Others were saying, yeah, they kind of agreed with him that no, and agree with me. I didn't post up anything about it. Just leave them to it. But yeah, I wouldn't have stopped. Give them a grief about it if you will. It's just, you know, when you live here, I've lived here for on and off for the best part of 15 years now, probably, maybe more. You know, it's a common thing to see dogs squashed at the side of the road or in the middle of the road. Busier all the time everywhere. With the whole COVID thing, I've seen a lot of people come from Bangkok, sell up, you know, they've either lost their jobs in Bangkok or that, so they've sold up their houses or condos or whatever in Bangkok, so you can get a lot more out here in the country, in Isan, sort of, for your money than you get in Bangkok. So a lot of people are coming out here, selling up in Bangkok, coming out here and opening up little restaurants and shops and things like that. So certainly since COVID has hit, there's certainly, this place is growing, if you like, you know. There's been houses popping up everywhere and little cafes and businesses popping up everywhere, and some of them last, some of them don't. Some of them are open for a couple of months and it just doesn't work, you know. But my pin lie, as the Thai say, it's the way it goes. But it seems to be a lot of folk from the, you know, came here from here originally. I dare say other parts, not just here, you know, all over Isan, probably all over Thailand, you know. Folk moving out of the big cities, selling up from the big cities and moving back to their hometowns. Anyway, it's enough rambling. Not far now. Not far now at all. And then I'll be back at the workshop. Park up, say goodbye to the bikes for a couple of months. Like I said in the last, I'm going to try try this year to make more of an effort for the YouTube channel and get more content out. I'll start off, obviously I've not got really much footage from this time home, apart from the last wee short trip in the DRZ and this, but I do still have some pretty basic boring content, but I'll edit it and get it on the channel. At least it's content for the channel for the time being. Hopefully I'll tide all things over till I get home and next trip home, and I plan on doing a lot more bike trips. Like I say, I've got the DRZ project, I want to get started on that. Hopefully get out on the side-by-side. There's a few places I want to check out on the side-by-side. A few places I want to check out on the dirt bike, on the CRF 250L. But again, it's a lot to fit in when I get home from work. I've got to try and, you know, it's trying to balance my time between time with the wife and kids and time playing with the toys. You know, I'm away a lot. It's be a little bit selfish of me to come home and then just bugger off on the bikes or on the side-by-side all the time. You know, so I don't need to spend, I want to spend time with my wife and kids, you know. I don't see them hardly as it is. And, you know, again, I don't want to keep going on about the whole COVID thing, but that just makes it, it's a nightmare coming back and forward just now, which means I'm doing longer trips at work than I used to do. You know, whereas I used to do like 6 weeks, 7 weeks there at work, maybe 8 weeks at work, and then come back for 4, 5 weeks here. Now I seem to be doing 10, 11, 12 weeks at work and coming back for maybe 5, 6 weeks, but then one of the weeks, at the minute, one of the weeks I've got to spend a week in quarantine in Bangkok before I can come here. And then depending on the rules at the time, I might have to do self-isolation when I get home here because I've come from Bangkok. So I might have to do a week in Bangkok in quarantine and then a week self-isolation when I get home. So there's 2 weeks of my 6 weeks at home gone straight away before I can even do anything. So that gives me 4 weeks to try and get out on the bikes and get enough content to last me for not only my time at home but my time back at work, to keep putting content on the channel. And it's just not as easy as it sounds. So, but I'm going to try and make an effort. We'll see how it works out. And here we are, pretty much back at the mother-in-law's village. I don't know if the wife will be here yet, waiting on me, or if she was sitting eating when I left. Her and the mother-in-law were at my house, and they were busy having lunch when I left. That's why I decided to go for her. Instead of just going straight to the workshop, I decided to do a wee loop, give her time to finish eating and get here. She might be here, she might not be, we'll see. See you soon enough. If the gate's open, I'll move my outro in here. That's my back. GoPro just went dead. So I'll catch you next time, folks. Take it easy. See you later.